It's me, Game Master Anthony, again, and this is part 2 of the Frozen Spyro crossover on this state. So, let's begin. I am also going to be reading the very last post on the RP of the last part. I'm not. You'll see. The Kaiser decided to ask Malfoy a few more questions. To Malfoy, is it during the Realm's Empire a Christian nation? What are your views on a witch like Elsa? Kaiser Wilhelm II of Westerton. To Kaiser Wilhelm II, we are a Roman Catholic state. We condemn Elsa for her powers because humans are forbidden to use magic, not created by dragons for dragons. God gave us a gift, and people like Elsa abuse it. The Dragon Prince Malfoy. To Malfoy, we officially join you in the fight against darkness in Arendelle when the time comes to invade. Praise the Lord. Kaiser Wilhelm II of Westerton. Call to arms, the DOE is a rogue state intent on conquering innocent nations. We must unite against this menace. Jordan III welcomed the wizard into the palace and led him to the meeting hall. Pouring glasses of wine, the young king discussed the situation with the wizard, showing him the plans for Operation Kolotnoe and asking him what he thought. In the meantime, a letter was sent to Westerton. To the Kaiser of Westerton. Greetings. As you know, Malfoy has seized power, warfing, and established the DOE. As one of your closest partners in trade and diplomacy, I would like to know what you are planning to do in the face of impending doom. Nice one. I would also like to invite you to Reykjavik to discuss matters face to face. Yours faithfully, Jorgen III, King of Iceland. To King Jorgen III of Iceland. We plan to side with the Dragon Realm's Empire only when they invade Arendelle. We will be neutral in all other cases. We accept your invitation. Kaiser Wilhelm II of Westerton. At Reykjavik, the entire city was stirring faintly as the Navy deployed its finest warships in the wee hours of the morning, loading up with cannons and rifles. An order issued from Jorgen III's palace the day before had mobilized an entire navy to protect Iceland's shores from invasion by any rogue states out for more land. A telegram had also been sent to the local governments of Iceland's colonies to get them to protect with whatever resources and vessels they had. 2 men aboard ISS Rotan and the ISS Siegfried were deployed for the maiden voyages to patrol the farthest reaches of Iceland's maritime influence. Only these 2 120 gunners were deemed to be powerful enough to go so far unaccompanied by any fleet whatsoever. The plan is interesting, but first you should know why Arendelle might be hesitant. This goes back to the Dragon Realm's Empire. Long ago, there was a powerful kingdom called the DOE. However, they had a corrupt, absolute monarchy, and when the Dragon Council was formed to limit the power, therefore, the heir to the throne, the Spanish were trying to kill the council. Soon the Empire divided into Warfang, the Forgotten Realms, Arendelle, and the Reptos Empire. And these countries are known as sister nations because of this, though they had little to no relations with each other, except Warfang and Arendelle. I guess you could say Warfang loved her older sister. They had the closest lines in all of Europe. And now that Malfoy has Warfang, if the King of Warfang is still alive, he is probably in Arendelle, building up his strength anyone who doesn't want to risk themselves and the closest ally. Hope this is the case because the King of Warfang is a good leader, Grandor said. To King Jorgen the Third Rising. Oh, yeah, they don't want. To the Kaiser. I should like to inform you that you refuse to side with a deranged demon dragon who plans to take Europe for itself. If this is the case, Iceland and her protectorates will remain neutral. But support was not given to you to support Malfoy's war efforts. They will also refrain from invading. For now, the big ISS Gaspel, however you pronounce that, will be picking you up from the port of Emden. I await our face-to-face meeting. Jorgen III. There is also more to it. Malfoy wants to reunite his empire, calling himself king. At the moment, he is the only the dragon prince. Gardner continued. Oh? Said the king incredulously. In that case, the plan will be altered slightly, so the need arise. However, Operation Colotoner hasn't been deployed. The events are still unfolding. We shall wait and see what the others do first. Taking a sip of the golden life from it, Jordan continued. In the meantime, tell nobody of the operation, not even your sovereign. I intend to do so myself. The king then mounted his faithful friend, Knight Fury Engartner, and flew to the port to inspect the ships. Before leaving, he said to the wizard, "These are dark times we live in. With your aid, as well as those of our allies, we can bring light to an otherwise dark future." With that, the magnificent jet-black dragon took to the skies and headed straight for the great port of Reykjavik. The ISS Gaspel headed straight for the Westonian port of Emden to pick up the Kaiser and bring him to Iceland for the conference. Accompanying her was the frigate ISS Spyro, a sturdy gunner built to defend the diplomatic ship she was escorting. The two vessels tore their way through the increasingly rough waves towards Washington. Malfoy chose not to concern himself with Iceland's actions. He needed the Forgotten Realms, then Dante's Freezer, and then he could strike Arendelle. He let Iceland do as they please. As long as they stayed out of his way, no innocent blood would be spilt. Two kings are in the third of Iceland. Malfoy is not a demon. He is a Christian. Dr. Wilhelm II of Wesselton. To the Kaiser, believe whatever you want about him. We won't change the fact that he is warmongering. Your ships will arrive shortly, and you'll be brought to Iceland from the conference as soon as possible. Yours faithfully, Heinz Norden, on behalf of His Majesty Jorgen III. In the meantime, the two ships had entered Wesselton's maritime space and made way for Emden as quickly as possible. Gondor studied a spell crowd awaiting the king's return. He was concerned, for the DRE had been strangely quiet and Malfoy had a strong information network. He was concerned, for the DRE had been strangely quiet and Malfoy had a strong information network, so he likely already knew everything. And then he remembered that he had forgotten to tell Jorgen about that. At Reykjavik, the king had finished his routine inspection of the guards and was now headed back to the palace. Landing in the courtyard, he patted Engartner affectionately and went back into the room where the wizard awaited him. Beckoning to one of the butlers butler to serve dinner, he sat down and said to the wizard, "Ah, I believe the truth already. Should an invasion occur. 37 ships are currently patrolling Iceland's borders, and 79 new ones are being built in the shipyards of Nuuk in Greenland. Do you want to tell me something?" I remember earlier on that Malfoy has an amazing information network, so he probably knows of all the movements he made so far, which I find uneasy because he has done nothing about it. The king sat silently, sipping the last remnants of, life from milk in his glass, before continuing. "Unfortunately, winning out every single possible spy in our kingdom would take too much time and money. However, my late father and I have personally chosen the advisors and generals, and I can safely say that they are all trustworthy and reliable men. Do you, perhaps, have any information pertaining to my kingdom which I am aware of?" Gosling, a butler in white coat, entered the room carrying a tray of dinner. The king thanked the butler and dismissed him. More often, Louisa, one plate and taking one for himself. He was mint. It was minced lamb dish with sauerkraut and bread pudding. "Eat up," said the king. "We can discuss politics later." It was merely implying that he finds out about events very quickly after they happen. "And wow, does that look good," Grandma said. As they ate, the two men continued to discuss the situation. Even if he knows everything about our kingdom, what will he be doing anyway? How big is his force? Meanwhile, the ships had arrived in Emden and docked there, waiting for Westerton Smollett to arrive. Okay. Well, his force was large enough to convince Ripto to surrender, and Ripto never gives up. Malfoy is a genius, though. I have no clue how he thinks. "Perhaps we should discuss the Orphan-Arendelle relationship some more," Grandor suggested. The Kaiser arrived to greet the ship. He got on board the ship and headed back to Iceland. 29 kilometers off the coast of Reykjavik. The ISS Fenrir, a colossal 90-gunner with 500 crew capacity, was plowing its way through the dark ocean in the small hours of the morning. The Borealis overhead was obscured by thick clouds, silently observing the mighty ship and occasionally hurling down bolts of lightning that stabbed the surface of the ocean like a spear on an animal's back. Through the fog of that stormy night, Commodore Hansen Jonasson stood on the poop deck of the ship, resting on a cannon and looking out at the sea. His thoughts strayed to various people: his wife, his stricken mother, his beloved premature shrimp of his son. Sail on the port bow. Commodore seized a telescope. Sail on the port bow. The Commodore seized a telescope on the table, dashing to the side and looking out, only to see a 10-valve ghostly vessel that slashed its way through the rough waters. Observing the ship further, the Commodore's men signaled the ship to identify herself, only to see the dreaded black flag that had come to symbolize a watery grave in the abyss of the mighty ocean. "Jolly Roger, all hands! One out the guns!" The Fenrir ran out her cannons and fired a warning shot at the vessel, which turned around and flew towards the warship. Commodore Jonasson drew his cutlass and watched as the pirates came closer and closer, a specter of the might in the dark. Broadside. The warship fired at the pirates again, this time with all cannons. The rogue frigate was crippled, its mainmast toppling over, the Meissen yardman nearly crushing the Commodore. The Commodore ordered another broadside, smashing the frigate further and ensuring that they could not escape now. The Icelandic Marines took up grappling hooks in the at the first mate's command. At the first mate's command, boarded the rogue vessel, cutting down the pirates and capturing the ship. This is too creepy. Easy. This is too easy. Just then, silence gripped the scene. Another ship had shown up, a completely black one that flew no flag. Commodore Jonasson ordered his men to fire at the other vessel. Before any action could be taken, however, the black ship fired its own guns, hitting both the Fenrir and the nearest pirate ship, killing off most of the men. Strange skeletal figures boarded the Fenrir and brutally killed the Marines and crew. The Commodore Jonasson had escaped on a lifeboat, along with 3 sailors and a lieutenant. The lucky thing they did, for shortly after they had left, the Fenrir was engulfed in wildfire, sending all of the remaining men on board into the abyss of the deep. Jonasson turned around and he was able to read the name, the Flying Dutchman, on the back of the ship just before it disappeared into the fog without any trace. Okay. John the Third finished the last remnants of his channel before continuing. Yes, we should discuss the relationship between Wolfgang and Arendelle. How is it currently? Should we have anything to fear at the moment? The captain of the gospel greeted the Kaiser respectfully, before saying in a hushed voice, "We better make way to Reykjavik as quickly as possible. Word has reached our ears from a Commodore Sergeant in the Trondheim that a ghostly vessel is on the loose, and that he would have died had he not deployed the boat. With the winds we currently have, it should take us around a week." Yeah, that's a pretty good picture right there. It's a picture of a black crow eagle thing with a crown on its head, and with the squiggly in the middle. Pretty good picture. Okay, back to the story. Back to the RIP. Official letter from the King's Advisory Office. Request for diplomacy. From Greater Criterion to Iceland. King Dragon III of Iceland. Greetings. I am the King of Greater Criterion. King Christopher Felix V. I believe our ancestors may have met before, but who knows what? But who knows what? And it all ended with your grandfather being blown up by this large demon. Regardless of anything, I am here asking for officials to trade ties and a full-fledged military alliance between our 2 great kingdoms.
Very informative. Thank you, Dr. Actually, it's pronounced Lomin. You put the emphasis on low, I put the emphasis on me. Could you please tell my friend that there's no possible way that Nefertiti could have any living descendants? They look familiar. Have we met before? That depends. Were you hanging around Cairo 3,000 years ago? Because I'm pretty sure I was. She thinks she's the descendant of Nefertiti. Well, I guess anything is possible.
Oh, sorry, watching TV.
Could you tell us anything about her that you didn't already?
I am also considering a triple entente alliance between Telodon, Iceland, and the Forgotten Realms. This means that we would have complete control over Europe. Should you be interested in this offer, I am inviting you and a representative from the Forgotten Realms to Telodon at any time appropriate. Thank you, King Christopher Felix IV.
here. We're waiting for you in the break.
Okay, that
Logan made one.
whatever. Not my post.
You'll have to excuse me. Pressing news.
Two is excellent. Let's see. Christopher Felix V of Cretelodon. My sincerest greetings to you. My sincerest greetings to you. Indeed, our ancestors knew each other. My grandfather, Ludwig the Ninth, was a good friend of yours. Of yours. Your request for an alliance sounds promising, but I request that we meet face to face in Reykjavik, as the little granddaughter of the Forgotten Realms is already here. If you require transport, I will be more than happy to accommodate. Most of my concerns may be addressed when we meet, but I need to tell you now that Western has pledged their support to Malfoy and his new empire. I haven't taken any action as of yet, but I feel that the war of Westerton and the Pentagon may be set to repeat itself. If it is not convenient for you to leave Cretelodon, I will be able to come over, most likely by air. Cheers, Dragon the Third. And there you have it. Part 2 of the roleplay. Say something, people.